Du coup, c'est parti les gars, c'est parti. La finale de la Draft League de Wolfe. C'est parti, c'est parti, c'est parti.
Hello. Hang on, I have to do something. Oh,
Damn.
watching the game relay's on. Hello everybody, this is the finals of the Wolfe Draft League. This has been a project that has been in the works for 2.5 months. I've played weekly for 2.5 months, and regardless of how this game goes, this will be the final battle. It's been a really fun time, I would say. It's been an interesting return to draft. I would say that the highs are like higher than I remember, and the lows are also lower than I remember. It seems that time really does heal all wounds. But overall, I'm really glad that I have, done this, and it's been a lot of fun to return to draft, and also just to see the enthusiasm that draft has gotten this time around.
Stylé.
A lot of our players had a lot of fun. I hope. And also, just from the audience, I think that Draft League is a really cool and interesting format. And for those of you who are watching this on the bonus channel and have followed along for most of the weeks, I hope that you enjoyed it as well. I hope that you got to see at least a bit of the reason why this is such a popular format, and why, at least among players and creators. We don't have that much time until the match. James and I are scheduled to play in 1 minute, but I will give you one short story which would require more explanation, but I will give you a little teaser. This week I got hit with a rat, and that is a true statement. And what I will tell you about this, because we do need to move on somewhat quickly, but what I will tell you about this is that even though you would think being hit with a pigeon is worse, I found being hit with a rat to be worse. That's my personal opinion.
What?
Okay, cool. So let's do a quick overview of the team, just so you all know what I'm bringing.
Il y a un rat qui l'a sauté dessus. Comment ça, il s'est fait attaquer? Il s'est fait hit by a rat.
Is it this one? Well, that's not gonna work. Hold on. 1 second. I gotta do this live. Hang on. This? Hang on. Studio mode, and then try this.
James Beck, c'est un monstre du team building, donc il faut vraiment que là, il se soit, genre vraiment, mais full focus, qu'il est tryhard.
I mean, it's not great, but it'll work. Okay. So, as you can see here, we are starting the team off with Noivern. Noivern is the first Pokemon that's going to be in the late game 1. And like,
Ok, le Trevenant aussi.
That he has,
Ok, il a pas le...
Effectively, a core part of the strategy this week for
la
me
petite
has
évolution
to
là,
be figuring out how to
de
stop his
suis.
Rage Fist.
Comment il s'appelle? Sligoon. Il a pas Sligoon. Ariama, Espatra peut-être pour le... tout ce qui est Trick Room avec Trevenant.
Fury Swipe for it, and Bullet Seed Hydrapple, but Ninetales is the big one. But Ninetales and Crocodile are the big ones, I would say. And in order to stop Ninetales or Crocodile from boosting Annihilate on the first turn, I need to have 2 Pokemon that outspeed Ninetales, and I only have 1 naturally, and that's Noivern. So this week Noivern does not have Tailwind, because Tailwind does not benefit the other members of this team, and it does have a Life Orb set, an offensive set with Terra Fire. The idea here is I can lead Noivern, get some information about what James has, figure out his items right away, or at least 2 of them, and then use that to make an informed turn 1. Next, Noivern in the lead, at least one of the modes, is Choice Scarf Mamoswine. This is somewhat standard Choice Scarf Mamoswine. It outspeeds all of his Pokemon. For that reason, James will have a Choice Scarf on his team. I expect it to be on Kilowattrel, could be on Cinderace or Ninetales as well. The moves gave me some trouble on Mamoswine. I would like to have run Icicle Spear because it gets the KO on Focus Sash Kilowattrel. That being said, it's pretty much worthless against every other type of the Kilowattrel and just his team in general, so I've dropped it for High Horsepower, which is the 4th move. Noivern plus Mamoswine together can combine to outspeed both Crocodile and Ninetales and KO them.
Okay.
And it depends on some of their Terras and some of their like item choices as well, but they should be able to KO through Terra a lot of the time for a lot of those Pokemon. And it means that he can't just lead like some kind of boosting move and Rage Fist and just get away with it. Part of the problem with Scarf Mamoswine when I was testing, one of the issues that I ran into was the fact that once you've locked into a move, James has a lot of like really bulky Pokemon on his team that can now like just switch in and not fear Mamoswine. For example, if I lock into Icicle Crash and he brings in Blastoise or Revavroom or even Cinderace, it can be kind of awkward for me. So I needed a way to get Mamoswine off of the field, which is where Hariyama comes in. Now my first thought with Hariyama this week was to do a similar Flame Orb set that I did last time.
Ok, là il a pas de vitesse, donc c'est pour le truc.
Offense, but really it's here to like be a switch in for Mamoswine, use the Assault Vest to get
Fake Out, Drain Punch, Bullet Punch, Ice Punch.
Okay. Resistances to James's Ice and Fire moves. Ice Punch is here because I very much expect him to bring Hydrapple, who is a bit difficult for me to hit, and just having a Pokemon that can not one-hit KO it, but do good damage to it is pretty nice. The 4th Pokemon was initially going to be Terra Fairy Weakness Policy Espathra, and I planned to bring this set, and I thought it'd be very, very funny.
Attends, weakness policy, il spottera.
I thought it would be very, very funny because I did Terra Fairy weakness policy Dazzling Gleam Glamora last time, and this time it was going to be a Spothra. However, I played a set versus Aaron Cybertron Zeng, and I played two sets.
Useless.
He beat me in both of them, and I realized that while it was funny and while it would have been interesting, in the end I needed something with more consistency because I couldn't always save both Terra and position properly with Spothra as the 4th Mon. So we're going with an interesting Spothra set. This is max speed, max special attack, Focus Sash, Protect Lumina Crash, Helping Hand, Trick Room Spothra. So the idea here is that this Spothra does two things. It either allows it to work as like a Lumina Crash Pokemon, lowering special defense. Focus Sash is really nice to have against James because the boosting Rage Fist might happen and I might not be able to stop it. But this Spothra at least threatens it pretty significantly, kind of regardless of whether or not it Terras because of the power of Lumina Crash. And I also have the option of going for Trick Room to help enable my last two Pokemon. The first of which is a secondary Trick Room setter, or I would say a primary Trick Room setter if the Spothra isn't able to do it. Which is this Mental Herb Frisk Trevenant. Now, my initial thought
Mental Herb
typing together works pretty good against James's team. Just checking to make sure.
Ah, il n'y a pas du tout les mêmes systèmes. Il est beaucoup moins tanky là.
The problem is that my ghost coverage is Poltergeist, and he has a lot of items that can be used as consumables, like Citrus Berry, like Wiki Berry, like he brought last time. He can also use the Snowball item, which is a tech that Zane showed off that I was not considering, where Snowball is an item that if the holder is hit with an ice move, it gives them an attack boost and consumes the item. And remember that Poltergeist will not work if the opponent has consumed their item. They don't have an item. So in practice, like against Zane and against Aaron, I didn't even have it versus Aaron, but against Zane, like Poltergeist was more of a liability, and Hornleech, while good, isn't as valuable as Disable. Disable actually I think could be really clutch here. So I'm using Nightshade for damage because I need some sort of like damaging move. Trevenant is weak to almost all of James's top Pokemon, and so I didn't think Citrus Harvest Berry was good enough here because I'm always going to be taking super effective damage. So the goal here with Trevenant is to get one Trick Room up and hopefully use that to win the game. And as you may or may not have figured out, the reason why Disable is here is because it combos with my last Pokemon, Iron Ball Primarina, with Encore. So the idea here is that you can Encore and Disable any Pokemon and force it to struggle. Encore also heavily punishes any defensive play, like Protect that James goes for to try and stall out Trick Room.
Iron Ball?
As well as to force him to make suboptimal moves. Like if he goes for a Drain Punch or I guess like there's only a couple options that would make sense to lock him into offensively, but it can still be used. Iron Ball is here because, like I said, I expect James to bring Hydrapple, and it will underspeed Primarina. Hydrapple has a base 44 speed compared to my 58. So with this Primarina, I will still underspeed Hydrapple. It's not a free win because Hydrapple's stats are so good that okay, he's ready. Hydrapple's stats are so good that I can't one-shot it, especially without a boosting item. Anyway, that's the team.
Waouh, ça va être chaud.
Right,
oh. Ouais, il a failli montrer le code. Ça va être compliqué. Compliqué, mon garçon. Ouais, c'est vrai que ça sert à rien qu'il montre le code s'il est pas en live. Je suis débile.
I also have my Joy-Cons. Okay, I guess we're using Joy-Cons. That's a shame. Anyway, thank you for the support this season. If you haven't already, the DC Parish merch is only going to be up through the end of the year, so get some before then. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, I am pretty nervous, but at the same time, James is a really good player, and this is a team where, like, I would not be surprised at all if I lost because of the power of his team. I think it's a deceptively strong team, and the only match he lost with this season was to me, but I also Omega cheesed him. So, let me tell him good luck, have fun. I have to write out my Terra types.
C'est compliqué.
Okay, so we're starting. Great.
Allez.
He doesn't have Ninetales. That is, I forgot to rename this. This is finals. Okay, he does not have Ninetales, which is not what I was expecting. So he has Kilowattrel with Water Terra.
Kilowattrel, okay.
He actually doesn't have a way to boost up.
Tortank.
He has Duosion, which I was not ready
Symbios?
for.
Non, c'est pas Symbios, c'est.
And he has Cinderace, who I didn't want to come.
Ouais, une évolution, ok. Annihilate, Cinderace.
Duosion is poison, Cinderace is dark.
Comment il s'appelle le moteur là?
That's not what I
sais plus comment il s'appelle. Je sais plus du tout comment il s'appelle.
He doesn't have Hydrapple actually. So his Trick Room. This is not what I expected. So he's done a good job of mixing me up. Poison. He has water on the kilowatt trolls. Scarf, Terra Water, Terra Blast will KO my... Annihilate this ghost. Okay.
Du coup, tout ce qu'il a préparé pour contrer James, il l'a pas.
So, just looking at the Terra types,
parce qu'il a pas Hydrapple et il a pas...
My plan was always to do Noivern plus Mammo here, but
Hydrapple.
to be honest, I'm kind of thinking
Non,
about
j'avais dit Hydrapple, je l'ai pas dit deux fois.
lead.
Je sais plus. Je sais plus. Oh là, je sais plus rien.
With Hari plus a Spothra in the back? I'm gonna run out of time if I'm not decisive here.
Allez.
I'm gonna go with my original plan, in part because I haven't had time to think through these specifications. I guess not having knockoff on Hariyama kind of hurts me here. This mode is quite weak to Duosion, so I can never do it again, and I might be in some trouble.
Ok. Allez, mon garçon.
Not having Ninetales is something I never considered.
Ah, Ninetales, voilà, c'est ça, c'est Ninetales.
It has some kind of like Terra Blasty move, right? Or something like that. Where's the Scarf? Could be on the Ape. Cinderace Blastoise is the lead, so he has right away...
Il peut faire tout ce qui est air d'eau, air de feu, là.
See here. Sash Cinderace, okay? And Assault Vest Blastoise.
Putain, Blastoise, quand même, il est stylé. Hein. C'est un Pokémon, ils l'ont bien réussi. Hein.
Assault Vest Blastoise and Sash Cinderace.
C'est pas rondoudou, mais il est quand même bien réussi.
So, right away, my instinct is that Blastoise probably has Fake Out, it probably has an Ice move. Cinderace probably has Protect. Cinderace is a real problem for my team. I'm gonna play defensive. I don't love it here. I just didn't want to lose the game on the first turn. Hariyama, because it has Thick Fat, is actually a pretty reliable switch in here. I guess the Cinderace probably isn't going for Protect here. Okay, coaching. Unfortunate. I wanted to go Earthquake plus Air Slash here. As for Ice Spinner, so it's Physical Blastoise.
Ok, qu'est-ce qu'il va faire?
Great ways through that. Truly. I can go for Air Slash plus Fake Out here, so that's an interesting lead. If I'd gone for... I mean, the thing is that because he went for an Ice move, my options for this were always going to be a little bit tricky. This is still okay, though. He's coaching, and he didn't change type, so I guess he's Blaze.
Ça marque, genre, si tu fais une attaque feu, ça marque, t'es type feu? Si t'es déjà type feu? Ah bah non, c'est combat coaching, c'est my bad. Donc oui, non, il doit avoir l'autre.
Blaze range. I reveal that I'm Life Orb. Goes for another coaching.
Non. Il est en train de le booster.
Oh, too bad I don't have the stored power Spothra, because that'd be really nice about now. So let's think things through, because I'm actually in a bit of trouble now. Because he has two Pokemon in the back still that I haven't seen, and I actually don't have great ways of hitting them. I could go for Terra Fire Air Slash here, if I wanted. Because I do think I actually need damage, and I don't actually need my Terra for anything else, so it's a little bit risky, but I'm going to go for Terra Fire Air Slash here and Drain Punch into the Cinderace. I don't love this play, but I also think it probably is correct, because the other option is Terra Psychic on a Spothra for... The other option is Terra Psychic on a Spothra, which I just don't feel like is as important here for damage. Like, I'd rather try... An extra Noivern attack is worth a damage, is, like, more valuable to me than a damage boost. He doesn't protect.
Slash.
Honestly, it doesn't look like a lot, but it will add up.
Je pense pas qu'il flinch. Hein.
Let's see if he goes for a third coaching. He does third coaching. Okay. Plus 3.
Plus 3 en attaque et en défense.
See if we get the flinch here. Spinner, okay. So I survive a turn because of this play. Still is a lot. 131 into 76, right?
Ok. Moins 1. Mais le Tartank, il est surboosté. C'est ça le problème.
Like, I bought myself a turn, but maybe it actually wasn't worth it. Here's Kilowattrel, okay. So, I'm gonna go for Ice Punch here.
Ice Punch?
My end game plan has to be that my Spothra pops off, I think. There's T-Bolt, okay.
Ou ça survit, du coup. Est-ce qu'il a doublé? Ou il va attaquer... Ah oui, crash. Ouais, c'est mort.
Oh, that's recoiled. I died.
Ouais, bah oui, ouais. Il est en x3 là.
Okay. That's a lot of recoil, though. It's a lot of recoil.
Il doit rien avoir pour ce
So the
build.
question in my
Il peut
mind
avoir reste.
what is the item on the kilowatt drill? Because he went for Thunderbolt. It could be Sash. That's one option. I think if you Sash, I'm in pretty major trouble. But I don't know the item.
Ouh,
I think
my
my
bad.
best bet is Spothra here.
Ok. Ah, mais il voulait pas garder Spatra pour la fin, justement? Pour finir?
So if he's, I think I need to play as if he's, I think he's
C'est-
probably
je sais
Scarf,
pas.
right?
C'est ce qu'il avait dit?
Wave Crash, Ice Spinner.
Hmm.
And what's his last mon as well? I don't think there's any chance that Lumina Crash KOs here. That's my instinct. No, it won't KO. I think I have to play as if he's Scarf.
Ouais.
Or some kind of choice item.
Ça va être compliqué, ça va être très compliqué. Je sais pas.
This is a little bit obvious, I think. He hasn't Terra yet either, I need to keep in mind. He does have Aqua Jet. And he kills me. Okay, that's not good.
Oh my god.
I think this
Pourquoi
is
c'est
gonna be
zoomé
the
autant?
game then. But actually, given how he set this up, there was nothing I could have done. And he has Tailwind. Okay, so he's not Scarf. And does he Wind Power? No. Okay. So I think this is just a loss, unfortunately. I will confirm the item on the Kilowatt Roll. It's Life Orb Kilowatt Roll.
Life Orb.
Interesting. Life Orb Kilowatt Roll and this Blast.
Putain, il a pas vu le troisième Pokémon. Ça peut être chiant. Le quatrième, je veux dire. Il a pas vu le quatrième.
With the Aqua Jet, there's just nothing I can do here. His Blastoise has become a real issue.
Ah, il a plus 3 en attaque et défense.
That I don't have, that I do not have Intimidate. I don't really see a way to win this. I think my only option is that he makes a pretty big mistake here. I go for Protect.
Il va attaquer.
Kilowatt Roll with competitive.
Ouais, c'était sûr.
Survive.
Survie, mais après ça
Doesn't
tue.
double me.
Oh!
But I don't get the KO here.
Sûr?
Maybe I need to limit him to. Oh, I crit. It doesn't really matter because of the Tailwind. But it does matter because I get to find.
Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'il y a Tailwind, je me suis dit. Mais il est plus rapide du coup. Mais non. x2 en boost? Est-ce qu'il serait pas. Non, bah non. Kilowatt Rail, il est plus rapide. Il est hyper rapide de base. Plus il a le Tailwind. C'est mort.
This is a rough game one for sure. Especially because.
Annihilate, okay.
I mean, I would love to know the final. The item on this Annihilate. There's no way to win, I think, right? It's like Draco Meteor and he goes for Drain Punch or something. Here's the Terra. This is probably Ghost. This was also if the Annihilate was Scarf, right? By paying attention to...
Scarf. Aïe,
By paying attention to who moves first between Annihilate and Kilowatt Troll, because I do think there should be some Scarf on this team. He's not Scarf. Okay.
Ça tue. Crit.
Let's see what he goes for with Annihilate. Rage Fist, okay.
Oh, la game va être compliquée. La game va être très compliquée. Oh, je viens de regarder le temps de la vidéo. Je me dis c'est peut-être un 2-0 là.
Okay. Yeah, I lost this one pretty hard. He actually just got me from the get-go. Oh, interesting. 3 stages of... Okay. Hang on.
All I wanted was you.
Interesting. What is that supposed to happen? At 2 stages of Tailwind versus 3 stages of a Spother speed boost?
Non, il a eu 4.
Oh. Wait. Oh, that's with Scarf. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that always happens. I didn't realize. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna say he just completely got me. Yeah, that was really, really devastating. I didn't get that much information either.
Il est dans le mal. Allez, tu peux le faire mon garçon.
So I think the big lesson here is that Mamoswine is, I have to be really intentional about Mamoswine.
Pas juste start avec Mamoswine et juste essayer de one shot Cinderace. Il faudrait une attaque roche. Comme ça, s'il switch sur le Kilowatt Rail, il meurt. S'il switch sur la Annihilape, il peut le toucher. Alors s'il switch sur quelqu'un d'autre, il peut le toucher.
Okay.
Je crois pas qu'il a. Je crois qu'il a que des attaques sol et les attaques sol. Si le James Blake il switch bien, il est un peu dans le mal.
Is that his team doesn't have a ton for Trick Room, but I think it's obvious that my adjustment is going to be Trick Room in game 2. His Blastoise is faster than my Hariyama. And it's Life Orb Tailwind Thunderbolt. Cinderace is Dark Terra, so it probably has Sucker Punch, so I gotta watch out for that. This is my intuition. This gives me better answers for Blastoise. This gives me more immediate offensive pressure. We know the Annihilape is not Scarf. We actually know that the only possible Scarf Pokemon on this team at all is the Reverum, which doesn't seem super likely to me.
Nah, c'est compliqué.
He doesn't have Weather Ball. There's no way, because there's no weather on this team. Let's see. Cinderace, Blastoise again. All right. Blastoise is Terra. Ras.
Comment il va faire?
So he's just gonna go for the same play again, right? Which is coaching plus I think this is my best play. I'm gonna have to give up Noivern, unfortunately, but I think it's important.
Ah mais il va faire le coaching.
This could flinch. 30% of the time he doesn't get to attack. Bad crit. Really, really bad crit, because now he's in Blaze range. Okay, coaching. It's +1/+1. Let's see what he goes for here. -2. There's Ice Spinner, okay.
Est-ce que ça va suffire? Parce que Ice Spinner, ça one shot aussi Trevenant.
So
je
here,
pense.
I think I need to go for my surprise move. I think that's my best way through. I go into Primarina here. I haven't revealed it yet, and I go for Trick Room plus Moonblast. He could have Terra Blast, actually. I'm threatening, hang on, let's say it's +1 super effective Terra Blast, because he hasn't gone for Fake Out yet. I don't really like using Terra here, but I think that I have to, actually. Because it could be Terra Blast. I didn't think about Terra Blast, hang on. If I...
Qu'est-ce qu'il va faire? Qu'est-ce qu'il va faire?
Okay, that's Protect.
Aqua Jet.
Imagine bringing your side project to life.
En +1, Parce que là, il est qu'en plus 1. Ça tue pas, je
Aquajet,
pense.
okay.
Ouais, non.
Trick Room is up.
Ok, ok. Il est bien, il est bien, il est bien.
And it's -2 special defense in the Blastoise. So I'm gonna go Helping Hand here and Moonblast, I think. It's a Solvus Blastoise, it's at -2 special defense. Moonblast at -2 with Helping Hand will always KO. And his Terra type is Grass. So I get to go Helping Hand and Moonblast here.
Il va switch. Mais peu importe qui il met, il est dans le mal.
Switches out, okay.
Parce que Helping Hand plus Moonblast, dans tous les cas.
He brings in Duosion, which is kind of what I was afraid of.
Ça fait toujours mal. Ça fait toujours mal dans tous les cas.
The good news is that Blastoise without attack boost should be a lot easier to handle. He goes for Sucker Punch, but it fails because I went for Helping Hand. He does not know that I'm Iron Ball, which means he doesn't know that I'm slower than him. That does a lot of damage. Okay, so let's think this through. If Helping Hand Moonblast did about 60, how much is Helping Hand Hyper Voice gonna do? Do you think it gets the KO?
Ouais, là, faut qu'il spam Hyper Voice pour se tuer le plus possible. Faire le plus de dégâts
Did
possible.
about 60. I think it'll get the KO. I'm gonna go for Helping Hand and Hyper Voice.
Oui, ça tue, ça tue,
This
ça
is
tue.
turn 3. This is turn 3 of Trick Room, right? Yeah, Trick Room was turn 1. This is turn 3. He goes for Protect. I could have Moonblasted, unfortunately. I go for Hyper Voice. I need this to KO, probably. Otherwise, things are gonna get a lot harder. I got
Nice.
the KO. Excellent. Okay.
Il peut juste spammer, non?
Okay.
Il y a un avion, là.
There's 2 turns left of Trick Room still. Blastoise is back out. I lost the Sash on a Spa Throw, which is pretty scary. I think I just go Protect plus Hyper Voice here. The problem is that I don't want to lose a Spa Throw this turn, right? Okay, I go Protect plus Hyper Voice, or do I... He hasn't Terra'd yet. I know all 4 of the moves, right? Unless he doesn't have Pyro Ball. No, he's Blaze, so he has Pyro Ball. Otherwise he'd be type changing.
Ah oui, c'est vrai que c'est le talent de Primarine. Je me suis dit pourquoi c'est pas très efficace, mais... Parce que son talent, c'est que ça devient des attaques haut, genre. Des attaques de champ. Ça devient des attaques haut, c'est ça. Un truc comme ça.
On Blastoise, so I guess he does have Parablast. I don't know if he has Fake Out is the issue. That's why I have to go for Protect here. Okay, he just lets me take Cinderace, which is good. He now has Terra'd on his Blastoise as well. He does have Terra Blast. Okay, well then I don't feel so bad for making the move I made earlier. If I'd gone for Lumina Crash, I'd be in good shape, but I survive. Okay. I'm not in Aquajet range. There's 1 turn left of Trick Room. And last one's probably Annihilate, right?
Ouais, je pense que c'est Annihilate le dernier.
Okay, Annihilate. And it's not Focus Sash. I don't know the item on it. It could be Assault Vest, right?
Non, Assault Vest, c'est le Tortank.
This is a really tricky position because I have 1 turn left of Primarina being strong, but the issue is I don't know the item on the Annihilate. And what the item is, like, very much dramatically influences what I should do this turn. Is there a world where I can save Primarina? He doesn't have Terra available anymore. I don't know anything about this Annihilate is the issue.
C'est compliqué là.
I think what this is a really... If I knew for sure, then I could make it... I could go for Helping Hand Moonblast. I think I do this. It's possible this is Assault Vest Annihilate, in which case I think this is the wrong
Mais non,
move.
Assault Vest, il est sur le tank.
Trevenant comes out. It's Covert Cloak, okay. He has Protect. Okay, then I made the right move. I super made the right move then. I think. I mean, honestly, I didn't really have a better option. This is going to be really down to the wire, folks. Like, super, super down to the wire. So it's Protect on the Annihilate, but it's Covert Cloak. Oh, wait, I already saw... No, I saw Reagit this. And I I still have my Terra available, so I do have the ability to lock him into something. Because I haven't revealed Protect or Disable yet. Regardless, he's played super well, and I can live with the outcome regardless. I think I have to go for Protect plus Trick Room here, because Trick Room has ended. Right, yeah, Protect plus Trick Room. The issue is what happens next turn. I just don't know if Protect plus Trick Room gets me enough ground. But I think I have to go for it. Yeah, Trick Room is over. He has Protect, he has Rage Fist. He surely has a fighting move as well, right? I haven't Terra'd yet. Phantom Force. That's going to win the game, I think. Phantom Force as well. An Ice Spinner, so he just totally calls it.
Ouais, c'est tanky quand même.
I think he just wins the game on that. Good job. Well played to James. I don't see how I could possibly win now. Because I don't survive Phantom Force. And I don't have, yeah, I think he just gets it there. Because I can't Encore Disable it. Protect Rage Fist. And he has Protect, so there's not really a good way for me to...
Il peut pas encore le Ice Spinner?
It's not technically over because I have Disable. So I go Moonblast, Terra Normal, Nightshade here. But I think he's just gonna have too much gas in the tank for me to win this. Because assuming he's max HP Annihilate, I have to hit it 5 times with Nightshade in order to win. Yeah, well played to James. This Blastoise gave me so much trouble.
Putain, le Tortank qui carry.
A little bit too scared. I mean, it's not necessarily over yet. I do have one way back into this. The Aqua Jets, he's just playing perfectly. Like, I've got no complaints, like, no criticism of how he's playing this. I get the crit. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Primarina, good job getting one more kill rather than letting Trevenant get it. Unless, of course, he went for Phantom Force into the Trevenant, right? In which case I would win this. But I think he probably went after the Primarina and took the free win. Yeah, good, well played.
Oh my god.
The reason why I say this isn't over is because, first of all, we've seen 3 of the 4 moves.
Il peut encore.
Maybe there's a chance he doesn't have the fighting move, right?
Il peut encore.
And the other reason why this isn't over is because I do technically have Disable.
Ah, il a pas encore, il a Disable.
I do technically have Disable, and what that means is that if he goes for a fighting move here, or what if his last move is like Final Gambit, right? Like, it's not likely, I will say. It's actually extremely unlikely that it doesn't have Drain Punch or Close Combat. That's gonna be tough for me. So the only way that I can win this is if he goes for a second Drain Punch here, and then I somehow, like, Giga Cheese him, basically.
Ouais, s'il sait pas qu'il a Disable, qu'il fait Disable en premier et qu'il refait Drain Punch, ça peut aider. Parce que du coup, ça lui enlève une attaque.
If he protects here, he wins the game. Like, because then I can't disable anything anymore.
Aïe 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 aïe.
Exquisitely done. Very well played to James. Yeah, he
le monstre.
He prepped very well and he played really well. I think that he really showed off one of the strongest ways you can play in Draft League, which is he had a strategy and he went for it. Whereas with my strategy, I think I was a little bit scared to go for it. And yeah, like, he had good tech. He caught me off guard with the Terra Grass game 2, Terra Blast. And he didn't go for the Terra Blast on the turn where I thought he would. Like, he honestly played really, really well, managed the information really well. And now the reason why that's a guaranteed loss is that I can now no longer protect, let him go for Drain Punch, and then go from there. So I'll like, make the right plays, like, but Trevenant doesn't survive Drain Punch from here. So yeah, the Phantom Force ultimately is what did me in. And the brilliance actually of his play is that by going for Phantom Force and Ice Spinner, it wasn't even a read. Like, basically, there was nothing I could do in that position because Primarina was always going to go down there because I let it take too much damage from the Terra Blast. So, yeah, Blastoise was really the MVP here. And
le Blastoise qui a carry.
So, Drain Punch comes out, Trevenant goes down. Congratulations to James for winning the first season of the Wolfe Draft League. So, really, really well played and well prepped. His team is really scary. And, yeah, I think I actually had a pretty good position in the mid-game here, but his tools were just really good, and he just played exquisitely. Like, really well done to James. So, go check out his side of the battle if you haven't already, and let me say GG.
Le monstre. Le James Beck qui gagne. Il a été monstrueux. Son combo Cinderace Tortank là. C'était incroyable. Bon, franchement, la Draft League a été sympa de ouf. Franchement, j'ai bien aimé. Et du coup, sur ce, les gars, j'espère que vous avez aussi apprécié. Je vous dis à toutes, bisous, ciao.